Welcome to Around Town. I'm your host, Dick Patten. It's a pleasure to welcome you here as we get ready on this hot, hot day as we come into the middle of August. And, don't seem possible, but all the TV has now is back to school shopping.
Already.
Of course, we saw where they collected 2,700 backpacks that the Concord Boys and Girls Club was doing with the Service Credit Union. And then you got, can you believe it? The wife was in a couple of grocery stores. Walmart and Hannaford have their Halloween candy out. Can you believe that one?
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's out. And then you've got Hallmark now advertising their Christmas. They just got done supposedly 2 weeks of non-stop Christmas shows to advertise their ornaments. Now they're advertising October 26th starts their 2 months of non-stop Christmas shows and movies up from October 26th to January 2nd.
They're trying to tell us that summer is over, and it's not.
It's crazy how they really just push and push. And of course, football season, the exhibitions will start now. Baseball is still going on, but it's just amazing how everything is overlapping like crazy. We're getting ready for a primary elections in another month.
And we got 4 exhibition football games to go through.
Yeah.
Before we start the season.
I know. And you're getting ready for your car show. Your 33rd annual antique and classic car show on Saturday, September the 8th, from 9 a.m. to 3:30 over at the NHTI Concord Community College campus.
Every show has been at the tech school.
Yep.
They've treated us very well in the past and continue to do so.
I thought you had one, the very first one that was down on Store Street or something, down there by the liquor store. I thought Chuck Averill had something down there once.
No.
So all of them have been over there then.
Every one of them.
Because I can remember him talking, you guys talking about that antique cars. But
Charlie had the Model T.
Oh yes.
And Ken Jordan had the Camaro.
Yeah.
And I had my old Pontiac. And we're the guys that started it after having 3 duck race and canoe races on the Merrimack River.
Yeah.
So it was time for a change, and boy, we hit it just right with a car show. And here we are 33 years later.
I noticed the other day, somebody was down in Bow, I guess, was having a British antique car show. I saw that. I thought that was different.
Yes.
I don't know what they got for a turnout, and it just seemed like this boom, boom, boom. Everything, the back to school, it seems like, of course, colleges are starting in just before Labor Day. Concord High starts in before Labor Day, so.
Really?
They never used to. We always started the Wednesday after Labor Day. That was the first day of school.
We also went through, June 27th, 26th?
No, I graduated June 13th. But Cole Brown over in Northwood, they start next week, I think, because they get out the end of May. And someone said school down in Georgia had already started. And I thought, wow, they really are getting the kids in early, but.
And they're in a hot area.
I know. But you've been in charge of this from day one, right? Basically, right. 33 years. And then the fair, the spring fair, you just got over that back in May, and this year you had one rainy day, right?
We had a rainy day on Saturday, which is our busiest day.
Yeah.
And we got rained out.
Yeah.
We sort of made up for it on Sunday, but we were off a little bit.
Wow.
So for 4 days, at least we had 3 days.
Well, look at the
3 days.
Look at the Rotary Pittsfield Rotary hot air balloon show. They completely got wiped out. I mean, those balloons don't go up at all if there's any inkling of a thunder shower.
No.
And Sunday was their only good day, and they're all done in the morning. They don't go up any time after that.
That's too bad. We
It
wait
is.
for
They
the
really
weather.
really got zeroed out this year. But anyway, you're on from 9 o'clock to 3:30, but the cars start coming in at what, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning?
Correct. All the early birds.
Yeah.
And they're usually the out-of-towners that
Yeah.
show up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we're in place, ready to go. Registration as soon as these cars start rolling in.
Yep.
So after so many years, we got the system down pat.
Oh, I know. Unless they start building some more buildings down there. Because I can remember for a while you were right in the middle there, then they...
And the quad.
Yeah, and they built some more buildings, but...
First they built the Crocker Gymnasium.
Yeah.
Then they built the library.
Yeah.
Then the dental part.
Mm.
So that pretty well squeezed us out.
Yeah.
But where we are now is in a good area.
Well, you've done a lot for the tech school. You really have given a lot of donations to them. Yeah, was it their
Close
mental...
to $70,000
Not mental, but
paramedic.
was it their medical paramedic program?
Paramedic
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, you've done a lot down there for them, the Kiwanis has.
So every year we ask them for a wish list,
Yeah.
what was cut out of the budget, what they need, what they want.
Who was the first doctor that was the head of that program down there? He was at Concord Hospital, I know
Dr.
that.
Larrabee
Was it Larrabee?
was the head of the tech school.
Yeah, but who was the doctor from the Concord Hospital? ER or something that was down there, it headed up that program. I'm trying to think.
That I don't know.
Wasn't Huddleston. What the heck was his name? That'll come to me after a while, but I remember that. He was one of the big ones down there that spearheaded this program.
Well, it's a great program.
It is.
They've got a dental program, they're medical, but we've sort of geared in on the paramedic program because the
Yeah.
guys that graduate from that program have a tendency to stay in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So our money is well spent. And they take care of their equipment. On any particular week that they use our equipment, back into the closet it goes. It gets cleaned to be used next year, just like new.
Well, you've got sponsors of Snell Auto Parts and Grapponi, of course. And
They are our two primary sponsors.
yeah. And then you've got from 7:30 in the morning, coffee and donuts. And then from 10 to 2, hot dog and hamburgers, cheeseburgers, soft drinks. Then you've got 50-50 raffle, must be present to win. Free parking, restrooms, vendors with displays, giant raffle, drawings begin at 1:15.
We have close to 100 items in our raffle.
Wow, you've done really well.
We have many restaurant gift certificates, lots of oil changes, cases of oil, front end alignments, state inspections.
Wow, that's good.
A lot of the beauty shops and barber shops have given us free haircuts.
Oh, gee, that's good.
So that's kind of different.
And let's see now. And you have a People's Choice Trophy chosen by the spectators, class awards chosen by registrants, and the farthest distant travel trophy. And pre-registration is $12 or $15 at the show. Gates open at 8 o'clock. And usually you get up to 300 cars or more sometimes, and more than that.
We had 292 cars last year.
Yeah.
The most we've had is 330.
I know, I remember that. Yeah.
And we're pretty well maxed out for space.
It still is odd to me to figure out that a car that is 1993 is an antique car now. I mean, I just can't fathom it.
The state says if it's 25 years old, it's an antique.
Isn't that a riot?
So you could have a 85 whatever
Yeah.
and consider it an antique.
Yeah.
We like to look at muscle cars, modifieds.
I mean, when I think of antiques, I still think of the Waltons or their cars, or the what is it? Or American Graffiti, that movie there. Some of their cars they
So
had
the
in there.
early T-birds.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I can't fathom it.
We'd
Something
like to own
1993.
some of those cars, like
Oh,
Jay
I
Reynolds'
know.
garage.
When I drive along, even in Concord, you'll drive by a house or something that has an antique car out front, you know, and it's like, oh, I'd love to own that. But yet, most of those cars are standard shift, and I can't drive standard. I get too nervous driving them things.
Many of the early models were manual transmissions.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to get so nervous trying to drive a standard shift. Especially if it was on the steering wheel. Because sometimes you had them on the floor, but then sometimes you had them on the steering wheel. You'd have to shift and all that. And oh man.
Well, the originals, Dick, were 3 speeds.
Yeah.
Then they went to a 4-speed overdrive.
Yeah.
Then 5, 6, 7, and now we even have 8 speeds.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's a lot of shifting. In
Yeah,
between.
it is. Especially if you're in the city of Concord, or the city of Manchester, or Boston. Can you imagine that?
So if you have an early Mustang or an older Corvette without power steering, which was an option back then, it can get very tiring handling that steering wheel and shifting and operating your foot. Everything has to be in motion at the same time. Kind of hard. But those are the kind of cars that we love at our car show.
Yeah, it's true. But I do. I watch the Waltons and I think, boy, man, some of those cars are just interesting how they had them like that. But that's the only way they got around. And it was nothing to pile a bunch of kids or whatever in the back end of a truck, because that's how they rode. Now, basically, it's illegal.
Well, when we had our Kiwanis parade, we always used to attract many antique cars.
Yes, you did.
And at one time we used to put them all at the end. Then we started scattering the cars throughout the parade.
Well, I remember working on the, helping the volunteer with the antique car parade in July when they had old-fashioned bargain days down on Main Street. Jim Milliken, when he was with the chamber, got it started on Thursday night when the Main Street was shut off. They would open up just enough for the cars to come up through, antique cars. And oh, it was hot some of those nights. Oh my. But he'd always go around with bottles of water or something, punch or something to drink. But I can always see the antique cars that would come up around the street there. And as you said, Charlie Averill was one of them. And even to this day, he always had that smile. You know, he always had that smile.
Always eager to help.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to old cars.
Because I'll tell you, he reminded me of the singer Jim Ed Brown. Because he always had that smile. You know, and I don't know if you remember the Browns, who sang the bell or something like that. I can't remember.
Mission Bells.
Mission, yeah, well, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Jim Ed Brown and his 2 sisters. Well, he always had that smile. That's what Chuck Averill always reminded me of him. You know, he always had a good smile. Boy, he'd be driving that car, and he was always very happy.
We love to see his car.
You know, whatever happened to that?
He sold it.
He did sell it.
He sold it, and obviously his wife didn't need it parked in the garage
No,
anymore.
she's still living, right?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
she? Wow.
So we've gone through a lot of parades with cars. We've gone through a lot of shows. Our original show is where the Discovery Center which was originally the Christa McAuliffe Planetarium.
Yeah.
That was the site of our first car show. We had 3 of them there. Then they moved us over to the soccer field.
Yeah.
Then from there into the quad. From the quad to where we are now. And the tech school mows the lawn for us, gets the picnic tables out.
Yeah.
They really help us out a
Well,
lot.
that's good though. I look back and sometimes I'll see cars that I haven't seen, but like, you know, I know that my the Volkswagen Beetle there, that was quite the car for a while. You know, the black Beetle they were, and then they kind of disappeared. Now they brought them back a little bit bigger, but they're still that shape of a Beetle.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had I can remember my aunt had the Corvair, and I couldn't imagine, because then they come out with a Corvette, and I thought, wait a minute now, she had a Corvair. That's what I remember, Chevy Corvair.
Corvair was the rear engine.
Yes, yeah, and the trunk was in the front end, and that was different.
That car was going great till Ralph Nader did a job on the safety
Oh, really?
of the car.
Hmm.
That's pretty much was the demise of the Corvair.
That's something, huh?
They used to have a Corvair convertible. They also had a model called the Spider. That was a little turbocharged Corvair. Very quick, very fast. Only came in a little 2-door.
And we had the Studebaker that my father had an older car. It was the Studebaker that he bought. But the only trouble is somebody had a fire in the back seat, so they had to take the seat out, but the smell was in there. Couldn't get rid of that smell. And finally he got another back seat for that car so he could use it to go to work with. But I know as a kid, the first car I remember my father had was the 50-50, I think, Ford Fairlane. It was black, and it was 4-door, because my grandmother and step-grandfather from Salisbury had the same thing. Theirs was, I think, was a 2-door, I think. And because they used to get their cars from Benson Auto up in Franklin, because they were all Fords. They were. And that's where they got their cars from. And father's side of the family all had Fords. That's what they were. And then the next car we had was a Ford. It was a Fairlane, but it was low down. They were kind of wide.
Is it a Fairlane 500?
I don't know.
Or
I think
a Galaxy.
Galaxy, I think, but it was a '59. It was a 1959, blue and white. But it was kind of wide, but it was long and wide and low down too. And that was the next car we had. We never had new cars. We always had hand-me-downs. And then we had another one that was low down. It was, well, then there was the '58 Chevy, I think, that was different. Remember, I think it was a Chevy. I don't think it was a Buick. But they had, my father did have a 48 or 49 Buick. It was a big car. It was a green.
That was probably a Roadmaster or
It was
a Special.
Yeah, special. I think it was a big one. It was a second-hand car we had, and it was, again, it was good to ride in, but it was a big. Oh, it was a big car. But you think of those things. You know, the cars today, it's like, yeah, they're so different.
And speaking of Benson's, they're the oldest Chevrolet dealer east of the Mississippi.
Really?
Still operating under the same
Well, for
family.
gosh sakes, yeah.
The oldest Chevy dealer.
Can't remember his first name, but it was Benson's Auto up there.
Was it Irving?
Could be.
Irving Benson?
Could be Irving, but yeah, it could be. I don't know, because I'm sure he's long gone, but his sons were operating it for a while. He's still in the same area. They are on, as you come into Franklin, instead of turning right to go into the Central Street, you still go straight just a bit past those lights, and he's right there on the left when you But
Still in the same spot, West
same
Franklin.
spot, yeah, same spot. But
Hopefully we'll get some of those Franklin people to come down to the car shop.
yeah, it'd be nice if they would.
Franklin, Tilton, Northfield, we seem to attract a lot of cars from that area.
Do you?
And for some reason as usual, they come out of the woodwork that you
Yeah.
don't really see a lot of these cars
Well, they take a lot
in
of
your
pride.
travels.
And I still can remember this day when I was going over to a state range function over in Maine. We went over through South Berwick or North Berwick or some in that area. And my God, we drove by this house, and what did we see? An old Concord fire truck, white one, engine 4. And I looked, and I couldn't believe it. It had this Concord Hampshire fire truck, engine 4. It was sitting out in the yard there. You can see it was,
That was always the primary engine. Anytime they got a call,
yeah,
engine 4 went out first.
yeah. It was always but it was sitting out there, and I don't know if they ever sold it to somebody. I said, gee, 'cause I can remember those old engines there, the trucks there.
It's amazing how they used to work out of Central Fire
Oh my gosh.
and go down Warren Street.
We used to
Main
be,
Street.
we used to be so scared of those things. You'd hear those horns going off, and you'd stand there. If it was a box alarm, you'd hear the air horn going off, and you'd count 2, okay, and 4. Then you'd count. Then you'd listen to see if it was again, and then they'd repeat it. 2 blasts.
Pull your chart out to see
Yeah,
where
to see
it
where it
is.
was going. Yeah, those are the old days. But I just think it's such a tribute to you, Chris, man, to do this for 33 years. Because nowadays you don't find people that really want to stay with something for that long of a time. They'll do it for a year or so, then they're gone. But it's a good thing because you do a lot. The Kiwanis do, and it's a lot of organizations are just not able to do much anymore.
Well, it's like the spring fair. We always seem to come together. Manpower is always a problem with 4 days. And you have to staff all the positions.
Yeah.
But the car show is a 1-day show, and we do very well getting all the members
I know.
to participate.
I keep thinking it's just too bad we could not get something back inside that arena. It irritates me how those,
Irritates us more.
that group comes in there, because that thank you letter I put in the paper there, I said, I hope I mentioned it, because I said, it really does. A month before you have your show, this outfit comes in and takes all your vendors that you might have had. They can't wait another month till you have them to come back to your show like you used to have. But try to find something to take its place. It just isn't there.
Yeah, the gentleman's name was Leo. He had a booth at our fair, and right after our spring fair, he quickly signed up all the others without
sure.
us knowing.
Yeah.
Then the following year, we lost more than half.
Oh, I know it. I know it. And boy, and I miss the Kiwanis parade coming, because that was, it was good to see a spring parade come down through.
And we tried it both ways, Dick. We had to kick off Thursday night
I know,
parade,
and you moved it to Saturday.
and then Saturday morning with the okay from the downtown merchants to bring people downtown. And they both worked out well, except for some of the rainy days,
Oh, I
as
know.
you remember.
Yes, how well I remember. The one year I get to be Grand Marshal, and boy, did it thunder and lightning. Oh, I'll never forget that.
And the band
And
played
the
on.
Shriners, they stayed out there, but I don't know how they did it. I couldn't do it.
In the pouring rain.
Oh my gosh, did it rain.
Drizzle, then pour, drizzle, then pour.
Ah. And you knew it was coming, because when they were forming it down there, I remember Debbie Davis was co-chairman or chairman, and we could feel it coming because it was so humid. But it didn't. We kept. didn't until you got up on Main Street, and by gosh, then it came.
Then it came.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost at the end here, Chris, but it's a pleasure having you come on as always. And, you know, for 33rd annual, September the 8th at 9 to 3:30 at the Tech School here in Concord. And you can get to that location. And again, no pets. No pets. How about smoking? No smoking, or can
Now
you
that's a
smoke?
campus ruling.
Yeah.
They have designated spots.
Well, they should. You know, they shouldn't have to. I mean, people are smokers sometimes. I hate to say it. Luckily, I don't smoke, but sometimes smokers can be very dirty, very nasty. They just throw their ashtrays everywhere. You know, it's.
Yeah,
But
we've all
anyway.
seen it.
But take exit 15 east off I-93, then exit 1 off I-393 to the tech school.
Plenty
And-
of signs to get there.
Yep,
And
you'll
put
see
out.
them out there. And again, if it's a bad weather date, it's the next day, Sunday, from again the same time. Its cost is $3 per person, under 12 free. So contact Chris Pappas for more information at 224-1504 or Mike Vlahos at 545-6040. Of course, if you're out of state, then the 603 in front of it. But and free parking for 1,500 cars. So
We
yeah,
expect a good crowd, and we expect to have
That's right.
good weather.
that's right. It's apple season, so hey, it's a good time. With that in mind, thanks to Ian Marx, my director, and I hope you all have a good day. And be sure to take a ride over to the tech school here in Concord on Saturday, September the 8th, and enjoy all the great antique and classic cars that you can find over there. I'm your host, Dick Patten. Have a great day.